Got to be careful, especially when you're drafting against a team like this. You don't want to revolve your draft around what they're drafting. You've got to draft your own comfort.
Yeah, that's definitely where we see a lot of teams shine against Lilgun. Again, Lilgun had a bit of a rockier performance in Tour 2. So far, looking good here in Tour 3. We'll see if they can keep that pace up. Summit, they ban out the TA at the least, so again, taking away a Sanctity special here away from Lilgun, as they tend to make that their win condition. So we'll have to see what the reply is from Summit. They should know that the Mars is going to go offlane with Kotal. I don't think we tend to see that shifted on the mid for Lilgun all too often. And again, that should open up some possibilities on her safe lane. Jug was banned out. Big usual counter to the Mars. Innate spell immunity and decent laning up against what the Mars Kotal has on hand. I don't know if you really have the Lifestealer in mind here. You still have the Rage out of Arena. You don't tend to go for that in laning, but Mars versus Lifestealer feels decent enough in laning. You can run up and right-click with a right support on hand. So could be a nice way to get that done. Extra durable lineup as well with a DK Lifestealer combination. And some decent enough ways of going for Infest Bombs or prolonging the fight with jumping into the DK after he frontline. So Lifestealer could kind of fit in here for Summit if they want. It's a fairly early reveal though. I think they're going to be gunning for solidifying their offlane or just hammering in their supports at this point in the picking phase. And they're really digging into that reserve time here to get that pick out.
But they are, Summit, having a very deep think about it. They could just go down the route of choosing another support and, whoa, Disruptor coming out here for Summit Gaming. Fair enough. Instantly into the Skywrath Mage and the Tiny once again for Lilgun. I've been seeing quite a bit of Skywrath in pubs. I'm not going to go as far as saying pro matches because I haven't seen it at all in pro matches, John, but it has felt like a pretty strong hero as of late, I've got to say, and we are in a bit of a magic kind of spellcaster meta, aren't we? So Skywrath, another one of those heroes where if it takes off, it's very, very hard to slow down.
That it is. And I think the one thing you have here is that gives you the magic damage you need to really eat through the DK. So you have great melting coming out from the sky, from the Tiny, from the Kotal to handle that DK's durability. You have some decent combinations for the Mystic Flare. And it kind of boils down to the fact that salves were nerfed up, right? So this magic dealing, highly aggressive support that wants to trade can always out-sustain your regen now because you're going to have to spend the gold yourself in the cores to stay in the lane. So the Sky has a lot more presence coming out from that. Summit, though, into the Ember Spirit. I mean, that's it again ties in with your combination of Grimstroke, Inkswell, Remnant in, or just Sleight of Fist inside. Can be one way to get these fights going for Summit. The lockdown for Lilgun on the Ember is a bit nebulous. Instant silence from Sky is the big one. If you can connect the Spear or the Avalanche Toss, that could be it as well. But it's nothing as fast to say a Hex or something to hold him down. There are still ways to keep the Ember down, so it's not the freest Ember game. But maybe this time around, Summit can kind of get that start going from the Ember on the mid. That does look like our DK is going to go offlane out. Potential for a safe lane, as we've seen a couple of times here, Mike. So you do still have some flex on hand to play with. And we'll see how far Summit does push that envelope, though.
We'll see. Final ban out to come here, Summit Gaming. It's focusing on the, I suppose the offlane, the mid. I mean, they get rid of the Bat Rider, so you just never know. Skywrath, again, it's one of those heroes. It could be in the mid lane. It could be a support. The Tiny could be in the mid lane. The Mars could be in the Kotal could be in the mid lane. Anyone could be in the mid lane right now here from Lilgun. Very hard to know what to ban against this kind of draft. As Summit, they are still thinking about it. Go on, John. What are you laughing about?
I was just thinking to myself, it's like, Solar Bind plus Ancient Seal is pretty nice. And I like this. Bloodseeker, Rupture Toss combination is there.
Oh,
actually, Lilgun are still looking to kill everyone.
They
just want everyone dead.
I didn't even think about that. The Solar Bind plus the Ancient Seal. That is...
Yeah.
Is that additive?
Disgusting. I don't know how far it goes. Look, we'll find out sooner rather than later here, Mike. And now you have the Blood Rage for additional magic damage. So think about this. Blood Rage to Tiny, 30% Spell Amp, Mystic Seal and so on with Solar Bind. They're pretty much dead. That DK is just food if they get caught out like that. So if the circumstances are right, Lilgun is just looking to burst. Summit pick up the Ursa. Okay. Which is interesting into Bloodseeker because Bloodseeker is already a good foil to Ursa. Sure, you have status resist if you manage to get your Enrage off, but you're going to be kited around by this lineup. It is Kishka playing the Kotal. So it is Sanctity playing the Tiny and 43 and Bloodseeker. Mid Tiny coming out up against the Ember. A bit of a tougher lane, although it's also pretty manageable for a Tiny to just farm. So it should be rather even in terms of CS. I am keen to see if Unknown can get a strong start. The Ursa, if it starts to fall behind here, I'm like, man, it's just going to be kited. Like, Solar Bind, Spear Back, Ancient Sealed Silence, Rupture, Bloodright. You're just going to hold this guy down, and it doesn't feel like a fun time for Summit. So Summit has to be the ones taking initiative, play with their Blinks and Inkswell combinations, play with that team fight they get out with the Disruptor. If not, Lilgun might meet that same timing from game 1 here, Mike.
That they may, John. It's going to be a very interesting draft, and thank you for pointing out the combination between the Skywrath Coddle. Now I'm suddenly awoken. I'm very excited to see how this... You know how I get when there's broken things in the game, Jonathan. I get too excited. I'm a real sadistic piece of shit. So, you know, it's going to be a fun game, I'm sure. See what Summit can do, though. Like you said, the Ursa could be a rough game, could be a great game. It's hard to tell. We'll get into it very soon. Game number 2 here between Lilgun and Summit. John, I'll ask you the hard question. Who has the better draft?
Lilgun. I don't know if this Ursa can even have a game if he's held back by all this magic damage. The team fight for Summit is it's all reliant on Disruptor, right? That's their biggest AoE outside of Inkswell. And we've seen Disruptors, you know, sometimes they get a strong start. It looks like Static Storm's one of the most busted spells. Other times, Disruptor gets caught off. He's forced to use Static Storm while he's getting jumped and the fall crew's not there. I did not know Mars has that voice line. I don't know how I've never heard that, but it's a beautiful...
Well, you haven't heard This Is Dota?
No, I actually haven't. I don't know why.
What?
Yeah.
How have you not heard that, John?
I haven't heard anyone spam that. It's the first time I've ever heard it from 11. I have no clue how that's possible.
Okay.
No clue.
Oh, we'll accept that reasoning, John. Thank you for that. Mid lane, Trezam might not be able to accept being first blood here if he's not too careful, but they are going to find the D ward. They'll be more than happy with that. Voice line's immediate from 4-2-3. The Skywrath lines, they get me every time. I don't even play this hero, John. I just like the way he says thank you. Like the I shall not report you. That's how he says thank you, John. It makes me giggle every time. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's really good. Skywrath's honestly a really strong support. It just takes a very specific lineup, but laning with him feels really good because if you can get the aggression, and you just overwhelm. Again, with the lack of regen now, it is good, but Ace 12 does get caught off guard for a little bit. Isn't bursted down.
Be fine. It's going to be a 2-for-2 trade on the bounties anyway, so a nice even start. You know what, John? This time we're going to start with the mid lane. Sanctity, going to be on that Tiny. Mercury, of course, going to be on the Ember. Do you feel like Mercury might have a bit of an advantage this time around, or Sanctity, he might just have a great time anyway?
It's all about positioning here, and about kind of dodging the Tiny spells with Slide Fist down the line. Early on, you do have a great time as the Ember. Tiny doesn't have the best armor. You can just kind of run him down, threaten while the flame guard's up. Tiny can't really burn that out. And the first 2 creep waves should feel manageable for Mickey. But once Sanctity hits, say, level 4, that's where things can go back and forth there.
The laugh and the high five here from Sanctity as he denies 3 creeps away from Mercury, but then proceeds to not be able to CS his own creeps. Ironically enough here from Sanctity. We'll have a look at the top lane as well. Shazam on the Disruptor, of course, going to be supporting Unknown on the Ursa against 11 and Kishka on the Mars and Keeper of the Light combination. You kind of already talked about this, John, but this combo can be quite devastating, especially once you've got a few points up in the Chakra Magic. Unknown on the Ursa, I mean, he should still be okay, but the problem is, anytime you want to make the jump in on 11, you've got to make sure the spear is down. Otherwise, if it's off cooldown, you're just going to spear the Ursa away every time.
There is some offensive potential here. Would say the kinetic field being taken up early by Trezam. That could lead to the trap in and the move forward for the side of Summit, but so far looking at a very manageable lane for 11 up there in the CS board. So is Unknown, so neither side really stopping each other from the build-up. Shazam already having to pop a Mango to kind of harass out Kishka from getting too much. One issue with the Disruptor, of course, you will need a lot of Mangoes to sustain your laning presence. And Shazam, Kishka won't mind too much, does have the Salve and the Headrest ready. And this is another development point that I think I touched on yesterday, but with the reduction of Salve efficiency, Headrest is what people are picking up now just to have more laning regen. So you still have something for your core. course.
Seems pretty good. It works. I mean, no matter what you do in this game, you're never going to let the cores go hungry, sadly, John. As much as you and I would love to see it. Damn core players always going to get spoon-fed by their supports. As 11. Be more than happy with the region coming in from Kishka. In fact, Trezam now going to be in a bit of trouble on this disruptor. Kishka continuing the chase. 11. Not even bothering for the spear attempt. Illuminate. Not going to fly through either. But 11 still wants a chase in the spear. Oh, I mean, did that look like it's connected to me? Apparently not.
You know, the high ground can be a bit weird with those hitboxes, Mike, so looks can be deceiving. Trezam is going to have to get a full reset, but he kind of wants one anyway. He's out of mangoes. He's going to be able to top up on that if he feels the need to. And Unknown still not being shoved away from farm. So you're still finding that early start for Summit, at the least in terms of getting the Ursa belt up. And the last lane, of course, that we haven't really mentioned is that bot lane, which is CZY on Grimstroke and Crush on DK, up against 423 and Ace12 on the Bloodseeker and Skyrat Mage, respectively. And this lane is kind of threatening. You can concussive shot to line up for the Blood right in a well-positioned area. And you can kind of look to be aggressive, of course, while heroes are low. 423 feels a lot better with added move speed as well, so you kind of have to watch yourself there.
Mercury has to watch himself in this mid lane, John. He's getting very low. Luckily with the Flame Guard, he won't be too much in danger. Is now 423 going to go for the chase on to Crush. Crush does have stun up in 2 seconds, so 423 won't be able to chase, but does go for the Blood Right. It's not going to land though. Barely missing out. Crush walking the right way to avoid it. Still Crush moving back in. 423, he's a very fast boy. Ace12 trying, but the Inkswell target now with the creep. Not enough yet. Ace12 though going to drop. Crush, he was waiting for that tip for quite a while, John, and he'll get it.
Yeah, they do manage to find some punishment for the aggression from Lilgun, but I don't think 423 minds too much. A lot of low HP heroes, he moves so fast, it's going to be hard to catch him out. And you find Kishka as well up top, so it is shaping up a little bit better now. For Summit, the aggression's ramping up. You have to watch yourself there. As again, once the Disruptor's topped up, that spam on the Thunderstrike can be pretty annoying.
423 runs right around. Crush on the DK. Ace12, he's going to cop the stun. 423 really wants to kill though, and he is going to be able to secure us now. Crush could be in a spot of danger, but it's like he's going to be tanky enough to get through it. Meanwhile, while that was happening mid lane, Mercury does end up eventually going down. Sanctity able to take the kill on the Tiny.
And as we said, this mid lane matchup is all about positioning. If you give the opportunity for the Tiny to avalanche toss and you don't dodge out with your Sleight of Fist, you get run down. And so far, Sanctity's been finding those openings, feeling great on that Tiny already, keeping up in the CS, but finding those kills under his belt solo is a huge deal. Shazam still being annoying up top as well. Does set up for Unknown to kind of run in if he wants to. Level 3 Fury swipes with 1 on the overpower can make it short work of something like the Keeper of the Light. And you are seeing some bite back from some this time around in the early game.
Ooh, Trezam surviving on about 10 HP there. Meanwhile, bottom lane Crush, he survives on very low HP, so 423. Very, very happy right now with the thirst. And Trezam, he is going to survive, even scanning out Kishka. Kishka's going to try again. Trezam, be careful, sir. Oh, he's barely avoided it. Kishka, he'll hand the tip over. He'll accept it.
Yeah, I don't think you're unhappy though. You missed these kills. You're giving 423 such an easy lane because of Thirst that it's a lose-lose situation for Summit. Like, yeah, you save your life. You're giving the Bloodseeker what he wants in the top lane. You do have the Enrage up on Unknown, so the kill threat onto the Ursa is not quite apparent anymore. Has been able to farm up into the Phase Boots, into the Morbid Mask next, and that's when the threat of Roshan can come through. But look at the warding out from Lilgun. Already a nice, deep, aggressive ward in the jungle. They're already anticipating that the Ursa is going to be farming there soon, and they can just contest really easily. And for Summit, yeah, they're finding a couple of kills. They're all dropping so low. This Bloodseeker, this is probably one of the best lanes I've seen for a Bloodseeker. Everyone's just low across the map.
They are. Sanctity actually finding Mercury mid lane again, but top lane's where the action's happening right now. As Krishka is going to die. Unknown. Tries to go for a bit more as 11 does not have the spear up, and Trezam can't get the glimpse off, so 11 got to find his own way out. For a bit of a run towards the right side, though Unknown is still chasing, and now Trezam trying to go for the body blocks. 11 needs a bit more mana for the spear, but is going to opt for the God's Rebuke instead, and is going to drop. Unknown. Great kills up at the top lane. Though, again, John, we didn't quite catch it, but mid lane Mercury ended up dying while that was happening.
Solo kills for Sanctity. Level 8 already. Ember still about to hit 7. Full level lead for Sanctity. This is a great start for the Tiny. I expect this to be a relatively quick blink up from him. And that's when combinations kick in. As the aggression team even keeps up bot. Nothing to really zone out 4-2-3. The threat of the Dragon Tail Inkswell just isn't there. Ancient Seal to immediately stop counterfight, and they just trade hits. And sure, you can't really find that kill right now, but the aggression to stop a Bloodseeker's farm is just not present. And 4-2-3's timing into the Maelstrom is going to line up quite nicely. You are still number 1 on Unknown. That's a good bit of use here for Summit, but it just feels like the mid-game spikes are just lining up.
Oh, no! Mercury, he didn't get the Invis rune. He remnanted back.
Yeah, he misses out on the top up as well. I mean, he needs every single thing right now on his Ember. Brown Boots, Orb Corrosion, it's a lot of damage with a maxed out slot. Fist, he's not really able to use that. With the Tiny Grow level up, it's just so durable, and here goes the TP rotation.
Oh, toss back from Sanctity with the shot. Well, some combinations, John, they just never get old.
And that's where that Invis rune plays a factor, Mike. He sneaks up, gets the throwback, and, well, not much else you can really do about that. I am still keen on seeing Solar Bind, Mystic Flare, Solar Bind, and Ancient Seal with Blood Rage onto someone with magic damage. I don't know if you can survive. Like 15% spell amp. Ancient Seal at level 1 is 20% increased magic damage. Solar Bind level 1 is like 60%.
This is like the third kill I've missed on Mercury, solo to Sanctity. You have to excuse me. I don't expect solo kills from a Tiny on an Ember. 3 times.
I don't think we've ever seen that. That's not something that should happen, but Sanctity's just showing us why. Again, he's one of the hopes of Mongolia, and why Lilgun and his team has just been together for so long. There's so much potential here, and is kicking into pace. Tip out onto 4-3 for whatever reason. Doesn't feel the safest for Crush.
Crush, he just came back, John. He's going to be ruptured up immediately. And look at Sanctity. My goodness. 7-0-0 on the Tiny. We haven't even hit 10 minutes in yet, John. He's killed the Ember 3 times solo. 3 times by himself. And we haven't even hit 10 minutes.
It's pretty disgusting, Mike. I think there's no way to kind of sugarcoat this. I mean, okay, this is how you should. 1k lead only despite all this kills. They might find more though.
Yeah, go on, sugarcoat, John. I'm waiting.
Yeah. Okay, so it's only a 2k lead, 9-4. Your Ursa's number 2 in that word. You are building up on that win condition, and Unknown is going for the defusal. Has the Morbid Mass, could threaten Roche once the defusal's up. So that could be one. And that could be the angle you're looking for. It still feels tough. You're a long way from Crush finding a win. He is barely above Kishvin farm. No.
Oh! Look at that, Jonathan! They missed the uphill rising, and now Sanctity, that's a 7-kill streak he might give away, but not quite. CZY is the one to drop. Nice attempt. I had faith there for a second, John, that they were about to get a ton of Sanctity. He'll hand the tip over to Mercury. Why not?
He's still here.
Oh, he's still here.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know what to say here, John. He had a TP up. He could have gone.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't sugarcoat it. But yeah, Ursa's finding farm. You're a long way from the blink on Crush. At least he's pushing bot. So there is that. They might be able to find a bot tower in exchange for their mid. Not the best trade. It's better than mid for nothing, I guess. Even Crush isn't that safe here, though the rotations are off.
But he's had this experience before, John. This time the Mystic Flare flies through, but they don't have Rupture. So Crush will be able to get away. Very nice for the DK.
Yeah, he bails out. He's got CZY around as well. He's just going to be able to passively regen with Dragon's Blood. They don't find that bot tier 1 yet. It is down to 283 HP.
Oh, Crush, no.
They can shove in.
I don't know about that, John. Sanctity's joined up. There goes Crush, and there goes the Grimstroke. A godlike spree for Sanctity. 10-0-1. Arcane Rune. Surely they get it here on the Ember. Okay, they'll get the Arcane Rune, John. That's good news.
Yeah, it's something.
Never mind, Jonathan. He's been avalanche tossed up into the silence, and he should still be fine. Surely Mercury trying to remnant away. We'll throw another out, and they won't be able to get him. He's fine.
Yeah, he is at least not dying anymore. 0 for 0, not even a single assist. I mean, this is tough. The defusel's up on unknown, so now we've got to see if that means anything will happen. I think Roshan's your best bet. Just maybe find a pick off on a support, get the inhibit off, run them down, go into Roche, or just go straight to Roche. Smoke is up from Summit. What's the option here? Gonna look for a kill first. No one on a triangle, but maybe they go for 11 here if they want.
Not gonna try for that. Instead, Ping's coming out back towards the mid lane.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Sanctity. Again, he's worth a lot of gold on this Tiny right now, so if they can find a kill on this Tiny, they're going to be pretty happy. It's proven to be very challenging, though, and now a counter smoke is out. Radiant Triangle is occupied, so this should give the advantage over the Summit. Lilgun, have they even realized that they're... No, they don't know. They don't know. Well, now they do. Avalanche tosses out. They've got the Ursa. Immediate silence from Ace 12, not allowing the enrage. They are going to keep trying to fight, but I don't think this is a fight anymore. Oh, they've got the Emperor again.
Yeah, it's not a fight, it's a massacre, Mike. 16 to 4, 7k lead for the side of Lilgun Summit. That's the Ursa with Defusal. I did ask the question if it was enough. It's not. And Lilgun get control of the map, drop some forward wards. Could try for the tier 2 if they wanted to. Aren't really clumped up for that. More than happy to just play this game as they wish. BKB coming for 4-2-3 next. We still have to see the Solar Bind Ancient Seal. So, you know, still some things to do here on Lilgun's end. Show us how ridiculous that combo is. But look at Lilgun, they're just camping the high ground. Just waiting for someone to walk up. Sanctity and Ace 12 just holding on to that area.
Crush. They show up in lane. Sanctity is going to get the Avalanche into the toss and the Mystic Flare, and it's going to be enough. 17 to 4, 8k net worth lead at 15 minutes, all off the back of Sanctity. 11-0-3 is the mid Tiny. And now Crush, who decided to stick around farming in that area, going to get punished immediately.
This is oppressive. Lilgun, we talk about smurfing in the DPC sometimes, Mike. It does look like a bunch of smurfs playing in clubs right now.
Hold on a minute. Maybe they can get something. Unknown. Gonna try it. Glimpse back is there, but Sanctity jumps in. Unknown's gone. Spear out. 11's gonna join. They've got even more. Okay, how long until they just call it? That's what I'm wondering now. I don't think this is even a question of who's winning this game anymore, John. Give me a time prediction.
Yeah.
How long do they call it?
3 minutes, perhaps. Maybe one more team fight, and then threaten the high ground, and a fight in the high ground. That's it. 3 to 5 minutes.
3 to 5 minutes. I like it. There goes your Emperor. That'll help out your cause, John. Your predictions look even better.
Yeah, maybe 6 minute max, because it's around 22 minutes when most teams would probably just signal for surrender. I mean, the investment in Ursa hasn't paid off. Now he's behind 11's farm even. And look at Kishka, above 2 cores on the top. Jesus. He's above the Ember, and what do you do about this?
I don't know, John. 11, not going to allow the arena onto Unknown, but they've got Shazam, so Sanctity will happily take the kill for himself, but now maybe they can punish this Tiny. He doesn't have anything like an Aegis up, but man, look at Unknown's HP pool. Just one Avalanche toss, he's almost gone. Crush. He's been caught out. He'll be tossed up into the air and just bleed out as the Ember is also caught with the spear. He's still looking, so he's not done. He's jumped right in. Sees eyes caught out. That'll be another. GG. That's it. I mean, you said 6 minutes, John. You're about 5 minutes too late.
3 to 6. Yeah, that was like a little gun. I mean, we had a bit of a drawn out for a series today, Mike. Not so drawn out here. Still
No.
gonna take a decisive 2-0 victory over Summit. And Summit, yeah, gonna have to lick their wounds. You know, their standing in the DPC isn't too bad. I believe they are 1-1. That will drop them down to 1-2, and that will bring Lilgun up 2-0, along with execration from their win a while ago. So it's a bit rocky right now for the side of Summit. Again, this is an open qualifier team. They worked hard to go through there. Just not enough. Lilgun just showing us that the experience they have from Div 1, maybe looking a little bit more low morale in Tour 2 was a bit rougher, but Tour 3 definitely back in form as they eat up a lot of the team so far. 4-0 so far in games, Mike. Not dropping a single game in any series yet.
Yeah, certainly a very good performance here from Lilgun, John. And of course, well, you've got to give me a moment, John. I'm trying to read our admin Ninal's message. He's got something to say to me in Discord, but I've told him a billion times I can't check Discord right now. Let's see what he's got to say. I don't have any mobile data here either, John, so I'm trying not to expose him on the stream. He
Do it.
He just doesn't learn his lesson, Jonathan. Okay, he's talking about the interview. It's fine. I realize I forgot to do an interview with TNC and Jesus Christ. I'm having a terrible day, by the way, John, in case I didn't mention that. I forgot to have an interview with Execration. Ninal's making sure I get it done this time. Fair enough, Mr. Ninal. I admit I forgot. We all have our bad days, John, but when Mike LaPhoenix has his bad day, everyone wants to jump on top. Everyone just wants to just kick Mike LaPhoenix when he's down, don't they? Not like John xfire. When John has a bad day, everyone's like, oh, John, it's okay. Let me make you some dinner, John. Here's some flowers, John. MLP Dota. He doesn't get any of that treatment, Jonathan.
You know, that's why this is gonna trigger him, but this is why he's number 2. Gonna lay it in later. Man, but yeah, there you go. All right, so yeah, Lilgun again looking great. Summit, I have to tell you, Mike, it's for me, the one thing with Summit that bothers me is the fact that they have the Beyond the Summit logo. I don't know, something about that just gets me. It's like, has anyone talked about this? That is literally the logo of Beyond the Summit right there in the badge.
Hold on. Let's not do that to him yet, Jonathan. Let me have a quick. I thought the same thing. I'm not gonna lie when I looked at it. I'm gonna look at it right now on Wikipedia. I mean, it basically is. They've put a shield around it. They've got some wings going, John. It's all right.
Yeah, I guess mountains are generic, so you can't copyright a mountain, Mike.
They probably could have gone for a different name to not make it too obvious, but you know, I guess they added the gaming at the back. That's all right. Why not, John? Maybe in their eyes, if they call themselves Summit Gaming, then that naturally gives them the power of BTS and they'll perform well or something like that. It could be like
what power? What power do we have, Mike?
We don't have any power, Jonathan. That's kind of the
power
joke
of
on them.
Nina?
Yeah. Let's not talk about Nino right now. I'm gonna have a few words with him after this stream. Oh goodness me. We're waiting for an interview. Of course, admin Nino is going to take his sweet time. The irony is, John, I believe Lilgun are the ones that never want to talk to us in an interview, so we'll see if he does get the interview he's so hoping for, or whether you and I are going to have a nice early night. John, talk to me about your day. Again, I've had a terrible day, so let's not talk about mine. Talk to me about yours. How's your day been while we're waiting for an interview?
My day's been good. Honestly, like the weather is nice and cool. It's nice and rainy, Mike. It's been comfy. I had a great lunch. My mom cooked up some pork and cream sauce with some mashed potatoes and a nice salad. I've had a great day, Mike.
Hold on. Pork and cream sauce?
Yeah, pork and some cream sauce. You know, like how beef stroganoff's beef and cream?
Yeah.
So she just substitutes.
Well, talk to me about the dish, pork. John. What's the dish called?
It's I don't know. She just makes it. There's literally no name. It's basically a stroganoff minus the sour cream. So it's just plain cream and, you know, like a pork cut and mushrooms. And it's really nice. You know, and then you have the mashed potatoes on the side, and then lots of salad, lots of greens. I'm nice and full. I had that in between as well with a little rice. You know me, Mikey. I'm Filipino. Rice. It's the rice fields out here. Rice nonstop. And had a nice nice lunch. So I'm very happy. And tomorrow I'm going to the beach. I'm gonna have
Oh,
some
you are
fun,
too.
Mikey. On to the beach, yeah.
Well, for anyone watching right now who inadvertently is going to spam in chat, "Where's John?" on Saturday when I am casting again, JohnXFire is going to be on vacation at the beach. It's not my
Yes.
fault. I didn't choose to
Yes.
let John have a day off. I didn't kick him out. He's going to the beach. In fact, Jonathan, considering how many people ask where John is when John is not streaming with me, you may as well just jump in the chat and reiterate that you are in fact at the beach. And to stop tagging MLP Dota asking why JohnXFire has been fired. I'd like you to do that, please.
I'll try. I don't know if I'm gonna be home in time and if I'll have data. I know data is pretty bad out in the island, so I'll give it a shot, Mikey. It's
Always
a
an
busy it's a busy week for us here. You know, we've got certain businesses kicking off, the families having me do stuff. Milk
hold
tea
on,
and ice
John.
cream is very nice, Mikey.
You can't do that. Go on, Jonathan. You, JohnXFire. It's a reason that we still haven't got an interview, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Just so in case anyone's wondering why we're still talking, we still have not got a player here. JohnXFire. I don't know if you want to go ahead and say the name of this, Jonathan, but I'll congratulate you live on stream. JohnXFire is now a business owner. Jonathan, congratulations. Very happy to hear it, of course. Do you want to talk about it, John? You don't have to name it. You don't have to tell us the logo if you don't want to. But you can as well if you want to
I can.
have some free advertising.
I will, of course. The family's taking it, right? So initially, I was supposed to take a franchise, but my parents were like, you know what? We'll take it for a retirement. You buy something else later. I'm like, all right. So we have a franchise opening up in SM Ecoland. It's a little thing called Miguelitos. It's a nice, affordable ice cream. Something I actually grew up with. Like after we'd watch the cinema, we'd grab a cone. And it's opening back. And it has milk tea now too. There's a little milk tea stand along with it. So if you're in Davao City, come down to SM Ecoland's grocery. We're going to be opening up Sunday, I think. We're going to be hanging around a bit. That's Father's Day too. So I'm trying to see. I think we're casting on Sunday, aren't we, Mike? So I don't know if I'll actually be there, but we are opening then, and it should be a good time. Good ice cream. I like the ube, and of course milk tea. I actually think the fruit tea is really good. It's like it's a green tea base with like peach syrup and apples, and it sounds really good. I didn't get to try it.
All right. Hold on. I said free advertising, John, not a free lecture, right? Jesus, you've had enough time. We've got an interview on our hands now, Jonathan. You're no longer the most important person talking, so we are going to bring 423 in for an interview. Hello, 423. Can you hear us, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
How you doing? How you feeling after that 2-0 victory over Summit Gaming, sir?
Not really feeling anything.
Really? You just I mean it looked really easy for you guys. I'm not going to ask you if you were worried because I don't think you were. How much fun were you guys having during that 2-0 series?
Since we won, I think we had fun.
I suppose that's how it works. Yeah?
Yes.
Go on, John.
All right, I'm wondering here, 423. You know, your team is known for the Broodmother and the Lycan. Whenever you see one of these heroes not banned, does the team get really excited and it's like, oh, they didn't ban Brood, we're gonna pick it? Is that always the mindset for Lilgun? Do you guys get excited when you can draft those heroes in?
Yes, we get kind of excited, and we think that game has won.
Fair enough. I mean, it's hard to see Lilgun dropping when you have those comfort picks. I am wondering, can you give us some insight? Because we were wondering about the draft in game 2, because you know it looked a bit different, but you had Skyrat Mage and the Kotl as supports. What was the idea? Was it all about just amping up magic? Like you have Ancient Seal and then you have Solar Bind. Was that something you guys were gunning for on purpose there?
I think we just picked our comfortable heroes to play. Didn't really prefer anything.
All right, fair enough. It did look comfy. Now I'm wondering as well, you know, Tour 3 of Div 2 looks very different. Is there any team that you guys are looking forward to playing against, or any team that you feel like might be the most challenging for you in this tour?
I think Excretion and Army Genesis is gonna be hard games.
Okay.
And they have been looking good, yeah.
Well, on that note as well, you've got Atlantis. Oh, no, in fact, yeah, you do have Atlantis coming up next. Is it an easy game against Atlantis, or do you expect to have a competitive matchup?
Not really.
Not really competitive? Not really easy?
Yes.
Which one? Not really
It's gonna
competitive?
be easy.
There you go. I got him to say it eventually. Thank you so much, 423. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. We'll let you go, and best of luck in your next series, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Well, like they say, Jonathan, the interview's always harder than the game was, and in this series, John, the interview was certainly a lot more difficult, I would argue, as they made it look too easy during that series. That is it for us, though, tonight, Jonathan. I believe we do have one upper division series coming up. Let me refresh my memory by looking at exactly where who we're playing against, or rather, who's playing who. T1 against Nigma Galaxy C. It's been a rough day, Jonathan. Nigma Galaxy C against T1. It's going to be a great matchup. Don't go anywhere. Of course, there is probably going to be a bit of a wait, but the timer will update once we do head off. And make sure to visit John's ice cream shop. I can't remember the name already, which is why John never tells me anything. Go, what is it?
Miguelitos in
Miguelitos.
Yeah.
Miguelitos.
Yes,
Make
sir.
sure you go check out the ice cream shop. Slap John in the face if you do see him for my sake. With that, though, it is MLP Dota. It's John xfire, and it's been a pleasure. We'll catch you all again next time.